case is a recent case that was just on the news. 25 years ago, a guy was arrested for murder and robbery. Throughout the whole time, his trials, his acquittals, he kept saying that it wasn't him, that he was innocent, but nobody believed him. And then pops in the Innocent Project. I will link their link below. So if you want to go donate, please donate. I already donated to them. They took on this case to prove that it wasn't him and that he is innocent. His name is Jaythan Kendrick. He was exonerated after 25 years in jail. He killed with Josephine Sanders. She was a 70-year-old woman walking home from a grocery store. Prior to this person robbing her and murdering her, she was mugged 2 other times in her apartment complex. She was in the process of asking Section 8 if she can be relocated. Because she felt like she wasn't safe there. A couple of weeks before Thanksgiving, which sucks. This whole case hindered around a 10-year-old boy that was living on a 3rd floor complex in an adjacent building. He told the cops at the time that, yes, he saw the guy but couldn't give a detailed description of him because he was so far up. I feel like that the cops was pushing this 10-year-old boy to say who it was that killed her. They wanted this case closed and done with, so they didn't have to handle it anymore. Jaythan Kendrick was a 10-year Army vet and a postal worker in the area. So, if you really think about it, that should have given him, in the cop's eyes, a little bit better saying something. That he wouldn't go around mugging people and killing people because he was an Army vet and a postal worker for the state. And this is where race comes into it big time. Because I feel like if he was a white person, he wouldn't have spent all these times and all these years in jail. They probably wouldn't even have gave him a second thought. But because he was a black person in 1994, and there was, even till this day, there's still racism going on in our country. The little boy asked the cops if the killer was in the lineup when they had this boy do a lineup. Instead of them saying no, or we don't know, this is up for you to tell us, they automatically told him, yes, the killer's in this lineup. And at first he picked somebody else, but the cops kept pushing him and pushing him to pick Kendrick. 5 years of his life was spent behind bars. He is now a 62-year-old man. And, quote, this is his quote the day that he was finally exonerated. I'm a I'm very happy today because I never thought this day would happen. Though I hoped and wished that it would. It would. 25 years he lost. He lost out on probably having a family, probably spending time with his family. You don't know where he would be today if he didn't spend 25 years behind bars. And this is where the Innocent Project comes in, because in the years since they founded it, they freed over 3,000 people. They freed, in years, almost 22,000 years of people that were supposed to be behind bars that was actually innocent because of DNA or witnesses that have a false memory. It was DNA and a false witness, especially from a 10-year-old. A 10-year-old is going to tell you what they will want you to hear. If they want you to pick, say, witness number 3 as the murderer, and they know that, they'll pick witness number 3 as a murderer, even though it might not be the murderer. This is where it all comes down to, because witnesses had a false memory. After this 69-year-old woman was murdered, was stabbed twice in the back, and they found a black purse in his apartment. DNA on. When they finally ran the DNA on that purse belonged to his roommate at the time. And the roommate even said that was her purse. But the cops didn't want to listen. The cops felt like, no, this was the 69-year-old woman's purse, even though it wasn't. It came down to false witnesses and DNA. And this is what we have to push more, for the cops to run more DNA and not just take a 10-year-old's memory into court and say, yes, this is the murderer. Especially that this 10-year-old was 100 feet away on the 3rd floor. Because even now, I can look to say, oh yeah, he's from 3 floors up and 100 feet away. He can see every detail of this person perfectly. This is where the jury sort of deliberated a little bit longer and figured out, can this 10-year-old from this vantage point see what was actually happening? Glad that he finally got out. He's out before Thanksgiving. He can spend Thanksgiving with his family and everything else. Like and subscribe to my channel down below. And share this video everywhere. Next week.